Hi, welcome to yoga for neck and shoulders. If you've been doing lots of desk work, I'm sure this will be a welcome chance to open up all of these tight areas in the upper body. So nice short class for you just to get into any of those sore places. The props that I think would be good today, having some kind of strap, keeping that one nearby, and also a couple of yoga bricks. You can easily substitute these for a little stack of books about equal height will be fine. We'll be using them this way and this way, so something that's kind of about that kind of height upwards would be good, and something that feels fairly stable. So yeah, that can be wider, obviously it can be a stack of books, and that would be completely fine. So something like that would be really good. Let's come to start keeping the blocks and the straps handy in child's pose. So bringing the big toes together, allowing the knees to come apart, and then bringing the arms out in front, the forehead down to the mat. So if that feels comfortable down here, then feel free to stay there. You can pop a cushion or a block or whatever in between the thighs and the calves if that feels good, and you can pop something underneath your head as well if you want to bring the ground a little closer. So having a play around with anything you've got there to help you feel cozy. So allowing the head to come down to the mat, and reaching the arms out in front, and maybe beginning to notice any tight areas in the upper body. And as you're doing that, maybe noticing where your breath is when you breathe in. So sometimes the breath, when our upper bodies are tight, also gets stuck in the upper body, in the top of the chest. So seeing if you can send the breath down to the lower ribs, especially the back and the side of the lower ribs. And maybe seeing if you can send the breath down into the belly as well. So allowing the whole body to fill with nourishing oxygen as you breathe in. Exhaling, allowing any stress that's maybe held in the body to release through the mouth. Taking a few of these deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And on your next inhale, rising up onto hands and knees, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees under the hips. And then taking hold of your blocks or your stack of books, whatever it is you might have, and placing them so that they would be right where the hands are holding onto them. So if you've got a wide stack, maybe the hands come flat. If not, maybe holding onto them. And we'll take a couple of cat and cows here. So inhale, allowing the hips to rise, the chest draws through the arms, allowing the chest to open. Maybe the gaze lifts slightly. And then exhale, pressing through the hands to round the spine, tucking the chin. And inhale, coming back through, opening and expanding. So using these blocks can allow a little bit more movement through the shoulders, coming through at your own pace here. And inhale back to center. So carefully bending one elbow at a time. So starting with the right elbow, bringing it into the middle of that block so it's nice and stable. And then doing the same with the left into the middle of the block or the middle of your little stack of books. And then bringing the hands together, interlacing the fingers behind the head and allowing the head to come down. Maybe the head touches the floor. So opening up the shoulders and the chest. And if you want a little bit of extra opening here, you can actually bring so as you've made this kind of little interlacing with the hands, you can bring that down towards the base of the skull to the neck. And you'll notice as you draw the hands further and further down, it opens up the shoulders even more. So taking this to a place that feels that you get that stretch that you need. Taking a few breaths here. Allowing the head to sink down towards the ground, the chest to sink down. Breathing into any tight areas. And on your inhale, pressing through the elbows, coming back up, and then very carefully, as we did on the way down, one hand and then the other back to the blocks. Moving those blocks out of the way for now. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, bending the elbows and lowering down onto the belly. From here, bringing the right arm out to the side and bringing the left hand underneath the shoulder. And then very carefully rolling over to the right hand side as much as feels good. The left foot can come behind the body to help provide a bit of leverage, bending the knee and putting the toes to the ground. And seeing if the head feels comfortable to come to the ground here, or maybe slide a little blanket or a block under there. So it may be that the body feels to open quite a long way. It may be that you stay fairly closed here, that's okay too. This is a really intense opener on the front of the shoulder. Taking a few deep breaths here into all those tight areas at the front of the shoulder. Maybe deep sigh out through the mouth. Inhale, slowly rolling back over onto your front, and the right hand comes in underneath the right shoulder. Option to take this on to the other side. Left arm comes out to the side and palm faces down. And then using your right hand to turn the body to the side, keeping the head to the ground, maybe pop it on a little blanket or something. And the right leg can bend, coming behind the body to help rotate the body a little bit more. So this is opening and stretching as far as feels good for you. It's super intense on that left shoulder there. If you're tight, you will certainly be feeling it. And then sending your breath into those tight places. Taking a few breaths here, maybe deep sigh out through the mouth. And then carefully, whenever you're ready, making your way back to center. Left hand comes underneath the shoulders. Now from here, interlacing the fingers behind the back. And as you inhale, peeling up the chest from the breastbone, reaching the hands away from the head, so down towards the toes, and getting a nice little opening in the front of the shoulders there. Keeping the gaze down to the ground, it looks after the neck. And still sending your breath deep down into the lower ribs if you can. Exhale, lowering down, hands underneath the shoulders, pressing through the hands to come back up and finding yourself into a comfortable seated position. So maybe starting off kneeling if that feels good. If you prefer, you can sit in a cross-legged position. Anywhere that feels cozy for the legs. And from here, bringing the right arm out to the side and drawing the left ear to the left shoulder, getting a little opening in the side of the right neck. And an option here to open and close the jaw a few times. Great opportunity to do this given that you're doing a recorded session at home, so you don't have to worry about how silly you might look. We hold a lot of tension in our jaws, and often tight jaws lead to very tight necks. So if either your jaw or your neck's been feeling tight, taking some nice big openings with the jaw, opening the mouth as wide as you possibly can, and closing, doing that a few times. So allowing yourself to maybe take some options that you wouldn't normally take in class. So really nice big opening through the jaw, and relax. And when you're ready, bring the head back up to center. And the left hand comes out to the side. So taking the other side here, it might feel completely different. Right ear comes to right shoulder, maybe allowing the eyes to close. So feeling into the neck on this side, maybe the neck feels more open, maybe it feels tighter. Often we've got one side of our necks that's been working harder than the other. They're amazingly heavy things, these heads, when they're not in perfect alignment above our shoulders, which unfortunately for most of us is a lot of the time. And again, option to take those big opening and closing through the jaws. Feel free to look as silly as you want to, opening the jaw really wide and closing the jaw. So taking a few of these. Releasing any tension that's hanging out in that part of the body. And whenever you're ready, coming back to center. We'll take one final opening through the shoulders. So if you've got your strap, this is a nice opportunity to use it. So coming into cow face arms. So this is a pose that often feels way easier one way than the other. It's a great way to bring awareness about which shoulder is the one that's carrying the most tension. So lifting the right arm up to the sky, bending the elbow to bring the hand palm towards the back. And then bringing the left hand out to the side, palm facing backwards, bending the elbow. And maybe there's a little bind with the fingers, they can hold on to each other. For most people, having a strap here is really, really handy. So taking hold of that strap in the right arm, and then you'll be able to grab the end of it in, if you can find it, that is, in the left hand. And the real bonus with having the strap is that it allows the arms to not want to cave in. Sometimes if we're kind of really reaching to grab the fingers, we actually, even though we've got the fingers, we kind of lose all the opening in the chest and in the arms, which is what the whole pose is for. So really it's about seeing if the chest and the arms can stay open. So that elbow, that top elbow is reaching towards the sky. And then you're getting this wonderful opening through the arm, through the chest, and also through the front of the shoulder. So going with what feels good here, if you know that you've got the openness and you happen to have a particularly open shoulder today and you've got the bind without the strap, then feel free to take it. But as I said, for most of us, using the strap feels really, really good. So be encouraged to use the strap, and that's absolutely okay. So breathing into these shoulders here, any tight spots, anything that's feeling sore, seeing if you can send your breath there. And maybe enjoying this opening feeling through the chest. It's certainly not a position that I tend to sit in very often in my free time. And it's wonderful for the body to be able to have this variation in movement and opening, particularly in the shoulders, which have so many options for movement, and yet we take so few of them in the day. One more breath here, breathing into any tight areas. And then letting go of the strap, unwrapping the fingers, reaching up with the right arm and allowing it to come back, having a nice little shake. Now we'll come on to the other side. So reaching up, left arm comes up, bending the elbow, palm comes down to sort of back of the neck or wherever it might reach. And then the left arm opens to the side, palm faces the back of the room, bending the elbow. Maybe you've got the little kind of bind with the fingers on this side, you didn't on the last side. Maybe you had it on the last side, you don't have it on this side. And maybe it just feels great with the strap. And if you're using the strap, then that's fantastic. It's always good to go with what's best for your body. So absolutely using that strap to grab holds, or just turn around so you can see. So if you're using the strap, you can have that wonderful opening through the chest, and the hands really don't need to be close together. That's a great way to take this pose, a really good way to take this pose. If for any reason you haven't got the strap, you can grab hold of whatever clothing you're wearing, a t-shirt or whatever, but certainly having a strap makes it easy. You've got something to tug against that's not going to move around. So seeing if you can get that top elbow reaching up towards the sky, the chest nice and open. It goes without saying, if you so happen to have longer arms here, then it will certainly be a lot easier. So this isn't always to do with how open the shoulders are. And noticing which parts of the body feel open, which parts feel tight. Sending a breath to the tight areas. Taking a couple more breaths here. And whenever you're ready to release, the left arm comes up to the sky, releasing the strap, arms down by the side, and having a little shake. And closing the eyes, maybe bringing the hands together in front of the heart. Coming back to that breath at the start of class, drawing it deep into the lower ribs, to the back and the sides of the body. Maybe down into the belly. Maybe seeing if as you breathe in, if the shoulders can stay level, if the breath can come just into those deeper areas, filling up the whole of the body. Maybe noticing, do your shoulders feel a little looser, a little more open? How did it feel to do that class? Were there certain postures that felt really good? Feel free to go back and take any of those for a longer period of time, breathing into them for whatever period of time feels good for you. I hope this class has felt good in opening up the neck, the shoulders, the chest, all those places that get tight. I hope that provides a little bit of freedom, a bit of spaciousness, and I look forward to practicing with you again soon. Namaste.